Folks, we now turn our attention to the national budget following yesterday's opening presentation of the 2026-27 budget presentation at Gordon House. During that presentation, the Honourable Minister of Finance and Public Service, Mrs. Favour Williams, outlined the government's spending priorities and economic plans for the new fiscal year. To help us unpack the key highlights and what they could mean for Jamaicans, we're joined by Managing Director at A. Peart Advisory Services Limited, Alison Peart, our good friend.
Yeah, she came here equipped with everything in hand.
Great to hear. I'm old enough, so I print everything.
Great to see you. How are you?
Thank you for being here, Alison.
Once you're alive and healthy,
gosh.
that is good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, especially
yes.
from that interview that I just did.
Yes.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Give me an overall thought of what you heard, what you saw before we get specific and stuff.
Well, what I'm hearing is access to capital. What I'm hearing is talk about reform. What I'm also hearing is the revenue measures aren't about change. There's a difference in how we do the budget this year. I know if people realize the opening budget, normally you sit and you're waiting to hear what are the revenue measures, meaning what are the taxes you're going to pay? What is going to change there? She did that earlier. So we were aware of what was coming. She would have heard our comments and she addressed a few of them. So it took some of the stress out of the revenue measures so we could relax a little and listen to what she was saying. In terms of what does it mean for the average Jamaican? What I am hoping we can do for the average Jamaican is to free up capital. The engine of Jamaica is entrepreneurship. But are we giving our entrepreneurs the financing they need, the financial literacy they need? What she's speaking about is releasing capital. We need more information. It's a great speech, but I talk a lot, but I do more. I want to actually see what is going to come out of the speech. You speak about getting the banks to reduce fees. You speak about being able to know your client, meaning what you need to open a bank account. I want to see that for the domestic Jamaican who we have to live here because foreign don't want us. So in terms of employment, things have changed. The office job is not the same as before. So what I heard from her was an attempt to do certain reforms in the financial sector to release capital. My concern, will it go to the people who need it or will it stay with the people who already have it?
Who needs it?
The average man who did not grow up with wealth, the average Jamaican who is entrepreneurial. We're amazing in sport. So why can't we be amazing in business? As a Jamaican, people come to Jamaica for our culture, to learn from us. The knowledge transfers from us to a lot of people. So what I would want to see is a change in how we treat as from a financial, because it's our government, it's the policies that we put in that drive that behavior. So I see an attempt to reform our banking system, to get our pension money out. But as you squint, you're old. Financial literacy and getting us to save for the future and delay our gratification and, may not buy something now, we need to do. From a tax perspective, she released the measures earlier, so people may have heard them, some people may not. There is an attempt to apply GCT to digital products. There is a levy on non-alcoholic sweetened beverage. I want us to be a little bit more targeted to that sweetened beverage. Sugar, as we know, even though we're producers of sugar, coming out of our slavery background, it's a poison. However, we need innovation. We need to also I'm from the era of the Jamaica Hope, meaning the cow. Some people may not remember that we were the ones to develop special types of things. So we need to come up with innovative ways to use the sugar, not to poison us, but to have healthy food in a lower tax jurisdiction. The SET and alcohol and cigarette, we know that's sin. We go to church, they tell you don't smoke, don't drink. That is a traditional beating stick. The environmental levy, though, there is going to be an increase, which means we're going to pay more for practically everything. In terms of the GCT on tourism has always gotten a little bit better when it comes to taxation. So they were at 10% for GCT. For some of them, not all, they're going to go to the same 15% as us. And this is where we took money from NHT, meant that if she didn't do it, where would she get the money? So the NHT, you get a refund of your employee taxes. You don't get a refund of your employer portion. But the NHT was set up not to be raided. I'm calling it raiding because you're taking it and putting the money where, when you pay to National Housing Trust, you didn't pay a tax in your mind. The government is now taking that, and it's not the first time.
11 billion?
Yes. No, I would want them to change the mandate of the NHG if they're going to take out that amount of money.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't sound impressed.
It's not about impressed. You know, every year I speak about some of the things we should do. It's not about being impressed so much as I want to see more. I want Jamaica to be its full potential. The concern I have is we're in a geopolitical world where we don't have as much power as we ought to. Where we have power is in the taxes that we collect from people and what we do with it. So what I would want to see is more on the expense side. What are we doing to cut our expenses? What are we doing, for example, we give money to various sectors, but what return are we getting from it? So if we're investing in our schools, does every child graduate from high school with basic financial literacy? Whether you're a teacher, doctor, Indian chief, if you don't know how to manage your money. So it's not about being impressed. I think the minister did the best she could with a hurricane having hit us. We have oil prices. We can't control what is happening geopolitically. But what we can do is control the money that we have and how we spend it. What I would want us to do is do less talk and more action. We have reform. How is it trickling down to you, me, and the future generation, our children that are sitting in school?
You mentioned some very good points. Do you think that these are the same issues and questions that the opposition will have?
I hope so, because again, you can only hope that the opposition is going to ask the questions that you ask. That's why we have an opposition. It's always good to have a strong opposition to basically balance. And I would hope whatever the opposition comes with, if it's sensible, the government takes it on. Because we're one people.
You mentioned earlier about taxing the digital stuff. Explain that. Where would the tax come and what we're doing?
Right. No, there's some confusion with that because we have to be careful how we call some of these taxes. There's a difference between a digital service tax and GCT on services. So there's a digital service tax where some countries put between a 3 to 5% tax on large entities for using digital services. That's not what it appears. And again, we don't have the legislation, so I can only say what Minister says. She's looking at the consumption tax. Remember, we took a consumption tax out of Canada. That's what we brought in. And Canada has put it on their tax, on everything. So when you have a consumption tax, you pay on what you consume. The world has changed. Everything has become more digital. When the tax was brought in, it was on physical things. So she speaks of equity. If you're going to use a service online to book a hotel room, you're not necessarily going to be paying the same GCT that a hotelier would pay. So we have to be fair. If you're using a certain type of app for a taxi, the taxi that the fare that you pay may not be the same because the GCT is not applicable.
Does not consumption tax hurt the poorer of us?
Consumption taxes always hurt the poor because the poor uses every penny. The issue is fairness. When you're in a country like Jamaica, we sometimes say, let's tax the rich. The rich will move their money and it's expensive for the government to really go after, who can afford to pay. We try to do that, meaning we advise people to do that. When you're dealing with Jamaica, we're an interesting group of people. When you tax consumption, it is a broader base. So you'll find experts telling you it's easier, it's quicker, it's fairer because everybody pays their fair share. If you're a poor person though, you don't feel it's fair. You never do. But we need to move more people out of poverty. And I'm not talking where people, look like they're living rich, to be really, really living a life of quality in Jamaica.
And how do we do that? Because you mentioned before, access to information from a very early stage, right? Yeah?
Yes. I believe part of what we need to do comes back to financial literacy. From a young age, we have a habit. I don't know, I'm old, so
you're not.
No, you know what, when I'm saying I'm old, your parents never told you what they made.
Yes.
A big people argument.
Yeah, the money conversation is a big
money, look up at go and sit down. We need to change that. Kids right now are doing things, they're on the internet, they're doing so much more than what we did. We need to start telling people, including our children, our helpers, everybody, here's how much I make. Here's what I do with it. It's not what you make, it's what you do with it. And if we don't have that money conversation early, when the budget time comes, we look and we expect the minister to do phenomenal things. But what are we doing in our lives with the money that we have? So for me, financial literacy from people are born.
Out of 10, rate it.
Well,
10 the highest, rate it.
I would say probably a 7. Let me tell you why. we're coming out of a hurricane. She's talking a good talk. Why I didn't go past a 7, I want to see action. Every year we come with a budget. What I would love for us to see is to look back at the previous year's budget and see what was done.
Very well
Thank you so much.
Very well
She
explained.
came with her stuff, you know. She was ready.
I have my printed.
Great to see old lady.
Equipped and
Who's
ready.
old lady? We get this old
Old
thing.
lady.
No, because look
like
here,
fine wine.
every day we're older.
Yeah.
But what you do with that time that you don't get back is what is important.
Clock it. Clock it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you for joining us, right? And help us unpack the key highlights of the 2026-2027 National Budget. Managing Director of AP, or should it be A. Peart Advisor Services Limited, Alison Peart. All right, guys, when we come back, we look at AI, talking about it, and the future of work in Jamaica.